across the sea of character sheets, deep in the forest of D20s lies the mountain of source books.
Welcome to the Mountain of Source Books. We hope you enjoyed your climb. My name is Jeffrey Vincent Dale. Joining me today is Rose.
Hi.
All right, so we are having slight tech issues, so the sound quality is a little bit different for Rose's mic, but it's still pretty clear. So by the time this is posted, it will be the 1-year anniversary of the podcast, October 3rd.
Oh wow, that doesn't feel right. I don't
Yeah,
feel like we've done anything. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been a weird year.
Yeah, for everybody. I don't know. Steve's kind of okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad about anything going on with Steve.
Fine.
But yeah, speaking of stuff that's been going on this year, health update on Teach. She is done with chemo, so that's good. One step down. A couple days ago, she said she's felt better than she has in months, so that was good. There was a trip to the emergency room today, but she has medication to help with the issue that came up, so she should be okay. So, surgery's up next. We're hoping to actually get everything recorded for the rest of this year before the surgery, so hopefully that will all work out. But yeah, mostly a move in a positive direction.
Yes, no. And by a mile, where this could have gone, it's good so far.
Yeah. So, let's move on into the news now.
Mm-hmm.
There have been a lot of very unexpected tabletop RPG announcements lately.
Yeah, some weird ones. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll start with Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. On one hand, there are surprisingly not a lot of good cyberpunk games. On the other hand, I don't know what they can do to differentiate themselves in like any good fashion. Like the value in that series has nothing to do with like the setting.
I could see maybe doing a cyberpunk procedural as like the setup.
Like if you do like the concept of like how it runs, that could work. But like the setting itself, I don't see what's interesting about it. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of details either because it was mostly just a teaser and like them talking about doing it.
Yeah, it was an announcement for an announcement.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be made by River Horse Games, who
Right. What else have they done?
they did the tabletop RPG of Labyrinth. They also did Hunger Games, Pacific Rim, Terminator, and My Little Pony. So it looks like they might exclusively be doing licensed stuff. I'm not sure.
Weirdly enough, that last one's the only one I think I've heard of anyone playing, and I never played it myself, so not really sure.
I had not heard about the Hunger Games one. I'd heard about the others. I own the Labyrinth RPG. We'll go through that eventually.
Okay. Okay, I kind of want to play a Muppet.
Yeah, there's playable options for all of them.
Yes. I actually ran a Labyrinth-esque adventure in our 1D&D campaign, and there were Muppets everywhere, and it was wonderful.
Yes, lots of fun.
And then I included Muppet Born in every single solitary like, oh, can you every time we like tried to get a new player in, I would include Muppet Born in the possible choices for races, because why not? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah, I can see it being very limited, but if you go into it with that expectation, if that's what you're looking for, as long as they do it well, I can see it being fun as well.
yeah, I will always go back to the Smallville RPG of all things. It is a very niche, very specific, well-made RPG, but a game that nobody is going to suggest that we play. And
Yeah,
it's always the case. Like, it's always how it ends up going. Is it's like, why do you make these very specific niche RPGs? That said, there's not a lot of good cyberpunk games, so if they make a good one, fantastic.
yeah, we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it. I don't think it's probably going to be one that I buy, but who knows? Maybe it'll surprise us and it'll be really good. And speaking of surprises, one that I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, but it feels weird that it's happening now. Final Fantasy is getting a tabletop RPG,
Yeah,
specifically Final Fantasy 14.
yes. I am a long-running subscription to that game. It's good. I would be remiss if not to say I'm a little worried about the roles in the game. Like, if in the game they're fine, but if you're playing a defender and a healer in that game, it can get really boring, especially if you're going to put into a tabletop game. So I really hope they don't adapt it too close. That said, it's got a good setting for that. The thing that I want to bring up more than anything, though, this is not the first Final Fantasy RPG that I have experienced.
Hmm.
I used to be a tester for the Returners Final Fantasy tabletop RPG that was made. It's a non like licensed thing. It was just a fan made thing, but it was extremely enormous and it was terrible and awful. And I just love the fact that I can bring it up.
But yeah, both this one and the Ghost in the Shell RPG are supposed to come out next year.
Okay.
The Final
Yeah.
Fantasy one, they have an actual release month though, is coming out in May.
Yeah. I wouldn't be upset to check out that one, but I also don't want to pay too much money because again, we already do that too often.
Yeah, it's they've announced that the launch is going to be a starter set with,
Mhm.
let's see, it comes with 2 core books, pre-made characters. Oh, specifically the warrior, the white mage, the dragoon, and the black mage,
Mhm.
and the dice and a map. Yeah, we'll see. I'll look at the reviews. If it's good, I might get it, but it is $60, which is a bit much
Yep.
for a starter set.
Yeah, always the case. I don't have money. But it is also, like I said, as a setting it goes, I actually really appreciate it because it does a lot of things that, like, it does a lot of things together that you think wouldn't work, but do.
Yeah, that's one of those games that I've always been interested in, but just couldn't get into it.
You
I
don't have the
tried it
time.
once. Yeah, that's the big problem.
You don't have the time. And then one of the things about that game is you have to get, like, it is a sink to get to anything that's actually good in the game either. The beginning is a slog, and it's an unfortunate problem, and a lot of people don't get past it, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, I played for maybe like 8 hours. It wasn't very long, but yeah, I was very much still in that starting area and not really knowing, like, all right, how much grind do I have to get through?
Yeah, and it's a whole thing. I'm not gonna go. It's not. We're not doing a podcast about it, so uh,
Yes.
I could say a lot of things. It's one of those things. If you are into it, then you'll enjoy yourself. If you're not, yeah, fine. Anywho,
Yeah, and another very unexpected RPG. I believe it was teased originally, but the Zack Snyder movie that's not even out yet, Rebel
yeah,
Moon, was announced to have a tabletop RPG.
I have no idea what to say about the RPG itself, but the story here is juicy.
Yeah, because so Zack Snyder basically told Netflix that in order to get his movie, they would need to make a tabletop RPG. So they agreed. This company, Evil Genius Games,
Yeah, I think I've seen them before, but I can't look. Let me look up what they've done. Give me a minute. Let's see if I can find. something besides this particular. Okay, yeah, then we also have other stuff.
Yeah, it looks like their biggest project was basically a D20 Modern update for 5e, Everyday Heroes. And then they've done some licensed stuff like Pacific Rim and
Yeah, they did do a lot of specific. Well, either way, the big important thing about this is that the adaptation was basically going to be used as a lore bible for the movie, like the setting that's designed to be in.
Mhm.
So this is an extremely big important thing for this movie. Netflix decided that they want to cancel it, the entire project, and then claim all of the information in there as their own product. So essentially what they're doing is they're taking the work that these people did for a project and basically saying, "Oh, it's ours now."
Yes, they're profiting off of work while actively keeping the people who did the work from profiting off of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, admittedly, they did get paid to do the job, but that's not the profitable part about RPGs. So it is an extremely shitty thing to do.
Especially since they said that Evil Genius Games basically put every other project they were working on indefinite
Mm-hmm.
hold until they could finish this because of how big this project was.
Yeah, it's pretty
So,
rough. And it is
yeah.
frustrating because I need to say, explain to you this. Zack Snyder is not my favorite director by a mile.
Mhm.
This is the first thing I think he has ever done since the Watchmen movie where I'm like, okay, wait, let me look at this. What are you doing here? And as disappointing as that one was overall, this looks like it could be fun. And then stuff like this happens, and it's like, well, especially considering the fact that I'm an enormous RPG fan. So, that's the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to go too deep into it because it's not what the
Yeah,
podcast is about again.
yeah, exactly.
But
That's
yeah,
just fun.
the trailer for the movie looks pretty cool.
It,
I was interested in seeing it.
I mean, it looks very derivative of about 50 different things, but that's the thing. If you make it derivative of 50 different things, then it becomes its own thing, rather
Yeah.
than just derivative of one thing. I have no idea what their plan is. I haven't seen it, but it looks different for his type of stuff, which is very important that he's usually very style over substance. It's like, it might be fun. Who knows?
Yeah. So I don't know that I would have been interested in getting a tabletop RPG of this, but
Oh,
if the
no,
movie is good, I would.
absolutely. But that's the thing is our thoughts on this have nothing to do with it because the story has nothing to do with the RPG itself. It has to do all entirely with poor practices from a company who is a bad history of poor practices.
Yep.
So,
It's just a very big mess, and I have a feeling we'll be hearing more about it as time goes on.
mhm.
Yeah, because officially this is in lawsuit territory. They have
Oh yeah.
filed a lawsuit against Netflix at this point.
And it's basically like countering things that they have said, like they breach contract, where it's like, no, you're the one breaching the contract right now. It's pretty good.
Yeah, hopefully that works out for them
Yeah.
because that was a pretty terrible thing for Netflix to do. Is
Oh yeah.
just kill off any chance at profit.
It's what they do.
Yeah, that's all we got for this week in terms of news.
Well, that being said, we can probably move on to the next bit, which is totally in the same recording block.
Yeah, and totally not being recorded later.
Absolutely not.
But yeah, we're gonna move into gameplay for Spooktacular, a game that we talked about last year. We just never ended up playing it.
Spooky.
But yeah, so we'll move on to character creation now. All right, joining me today for our 1-year anniversary recording for character creation for Spooktacular, we have Rose,
Howdy ho.
we have Steve,
Hey.
And surprising everyone, we have Teach.
Hello.
I knew you were going to be here. Although it was touch and go there for a second, but still, I knew you were going to be here.
I don't care about cancer. I'm not missing the 1 year anniversary.
All right, so as I said, we are doing character creation for the game Spooktacular. We're going to start by going with everyone's archetypes here. Your archetype is the general sort of character that you are. You'll have plenty of opportunities to define your character in more detail as you round out the rest, but your archetype gives you an ability, a special thing that it lets you do in-game by spending 1 or more awesome points. Unlike a lot of the other things in the game, archetype abilities just work as long as you spend the points on them, though in some cases you may have to make rolls to properly use the results.
How many are there total again?
12 in the book.
12.
Yeah, technically 6, and 6 of them are weird ones that are probably shouldn't, but if you got a good concept for it.
Yeah, the first 6 are like relatively normal, and then the other 6 are supernatural in origin.
All right. So first off, for my name, my character is Valerie King. She is a witch of the 54th Street Coven. In terms of archetype, she could be a couple things. Badass, parapsychologist, definitely not normal, and then charlatan's an option. And then, of course, there's the obvious magician or whatever that is, but I'd prefer to do something normal. Up to you.
I think we could do the magic through other things.
I mean, it doesn't have to be actual magic. It's very important to understand how magic and witch covens actually work in general.
Okay.
So probably parapsychologist, I'm going to say, just because it's unusual.
All right. So parapsychologist for Rose. And then Steve, what do you? Which one do you want to do?
I will be charlatan.
All right. So we got parapsychologist, the charlatan.
Okay, so what archetype would be best for someone who ghosts just won't leave them alone? They're terrified of ghosts, and the only reason they joined was to get any sort of form of peace to have ghosts leave them alone.
Either normal or badass. Normal because they're like, oh, geez, I just don't want to deal with this. And badass is like, okay, you're stopping now. I'm done here.
No. This person is scared, so definitely not badass.
Probably normal then, I would say.
Okay.
I would also actually suggest the psychic because that would be you would be open to the supernatural more. So I could see that being like bumping up against it without really wanting to, but not being able to help it.
Okay, that's actually not a bad idea.
Okay, psychic it is.
All right. So that's it for the archetypes.
That is the hardest part, by the way.
Yes. Now for quirks.
All right, mine's actually extremely easy. I saw on this list things that I absolutely have to do. First off, the first one's not like a quirk. My character is a witch. She's going to be weird enough as it is. And then the other one on here is, I'm going to roll something, because why the hell not?
Okay. And to be clear, you have to have at least one quirk, but you can have up to 3.
I just thought of like, I ain't afraid of no ghosts, and I'm like, no, I am definitely afraid of ghosts, and I'm like, I want to be that character.
That is pretty funny. Of these ones, Licks thing is a weird one, but I'm not doing
What the
that.
hell? Ate a telephone once?
Yes, I ate a telephone. There are a couple of them that are pretty ridiculous. Ooh, I like this one. Questionable diet.
Podcaster.
Yeah, the podcaster is a pretty good one too. Which actually, for this setting, actually works pretty well.
All right. And then Steve.
Okay. He is social media obsessed and a podcaster. And we'll just say young, because that's also true.
Okay.
Okay, are we talking like?
My guy's a college intern.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
All right, that'll be bring a fun dynamic to things.
Okay. So mine is a conspiracy theorist, a heavy drinker, and likes cheesy 80s music.
Oh, heavy drinker. Oh, honey, no.
Yeah. I'm not sure if conspiracy theory. Well, I'm afraid of everything, so I was thinking like.
No, jumps at every little thing makes
Yes.
a lot of sense for conspiracy theorists. Like you just like it's not that you're like constantly like, okay, this has to be the situation that's going on here. It's more like, well, what if?
Yeah.
What if this is the situation? And you're just like constantly like kind of like person who's just like, I read this online. Is this what I have?
Yep. Yep. Terrified of everything. That's pretty much exactly what I'm going for.
All right, next up are stats.
Okay, so the way this one works is you get 12 points. You can put these in whatever you would like, but there are 4 stats. There's action, which is, physical stuff, brains, I know things, contact, dealing with people, and cool, which is staying calm and collected. So I already figured these ones out. So for each of these, you get 1 dice. So for me, I'm doing action and brains 3, contact 2. She is weird and people, generally speaking, do not like her. And cool 4, because she is unflappable in the face of all things.
And your stats have to be a value between 1 and 5.
Okay. My stats: 3 in action, 2 in brains, 5 in contact, and 2 in cool.
Okay.
I was thinking action 5, brain 5, contact and cool 1 each.
Yeah, so like you're not good with people at all. Although I would, actually, Steve's probably pretty good with people.
I have 5 contacts, so.
But like,
Okay.
just like that, like feeling of like I'm not good with people. People find me off-putting, and I have no cool. I just cannot. I cannot do this.
I am afraid of ghosts. I am afraid of people. I have
am
no
afraid.
chill whatsoever, and I am going to do the entire thing in a terrified voice.
Oh, I love it.
All right, and then springing up from stats, we have talents. So there's different talents for each stat.
So you attach a talent to action, brain, contact, cool? Is that how that works?
Yeah, each one you get something you're better at than the rest, like anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're picking 1 for each talent.
And you get 3 extra dice, so you are very good at this.
Oh, well, I already know what mine is. Flee.
Yes. Run is on there. I do also like Scream is on there.
So you can only pick 1?
You can pick 1, but like it's something that you're especially good at. So for instance, brains could have like a lot of different things. Like there's arcane rituals, which will probably be my thing, but you could also be good at science. So you're like, I know like actual real science and not all the supernatural stuff. But there's also ridiculous stuff here and there, like sports facts or use the internet. And then, of course, there's other things that are like, this probably just says what you're capable of doing, which is like speak multiple languages.
Okay, so basically, since I have a 5 in action, I'm generally good at all the action stuff, but I choose one thing to be really awesome at.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, as an example, for cool...
Give powerful massages.
Yes.
All right.
I was looking at that one.
Retain bowel control. But, like, for example, like, you have no cool, but you could be a really good dancer.
Okay.
It's like stuff like that. And there's plenty of stuff in there.
We could all use rap battles.
Yes. Everyone could do rap battle. My character does not feel like she would be a person who would do rap battles, but maybe, who knows? Yeah, for talents, I will do mine, because why not? For action, Brawl, she is a tough lady. She will punch you in the face if you get in her face. Brains, arcane rituals, because that makes sense. Or occult lore. One or the other. I'll decide on that later.
Okay.
For contact, this is a tougher one. Also, like, raise the roof under contact. I'm going to say bargaining. That makes a lot of sense. And then for cool, I'm going to say nerves of steel.
Okay.
Nerve straits! Oh, wait, hold on. I might do that one, but... You know what? No, I have to. I have to do a nerve straits. That is my whole deal.
And then Steve and Teach, let me know when you're all set.
Okay.
Okay. My action talent is drive. Figure he's pretty good at driving.
Alright.
Brains is using the internet.
Alright.
Contact is social media. We're just laying it on thick with the social
Makes
media.
sense.
And cool is insults.
Alright.
Making fun of people.
That sounds like a fun combination.
Hmm.
Though I was really looking at rap battle. I sing karaoke.
The thing about rap battle is you have to be able to get into a rap battle with somebody, and none of us can rap.
I cannot. So I was like, if you make me try rapping in real
Yeah.
life, it would not be good.
I'm trying to determine the cool one.
The cool one has lots of good ones.
Sneak might be not bad. You're afraid of everything, so it's like you're good at sneaking around and not being noticed.
Okay, I'm gonna do action, flee, brain, notice stuff, contact, make excuses, and cool, sneak.
Alright. And now for motivations.
For me, I think honestly, considering the fact that our group, we have a witch, a podcaster, and a person who does not want to be there.
So I'm psychic. I have supernatural powers, so the ghosts are drawn to me.
But I feel like that absolutely sounds like somebody who, like, my character sounds like she's the person who, like, put this stuff together, because I guess Steve would make sense too, whereas yours is like, I put this together because I have a podcast and I want us to do that. If we want to go that route, that would be fine there, but otherwise the idea would be run a successful business, because dealing with ghosts is a whole thing. Or vengeance on ghosts is just fun. The idea that I've been steeped in the supernatural for so long, I've dealt with ghosts. I'm pissed off at ghosts now.
The podcasting thing, like Steve being the catalyst.
Yeah, like catalyst organizer, something like that.
Yeah, the person that got
Yeah.
all this started. Hey, I want to do a podcast on ghosts, and then you manage to find a really pissed off person, and then a person who is just like, I know. I'm drawn to ghosts. Ghosts just follow me constantly.
Yours will be a bit tough for this one if you're going to use these exact ones because of your aversion to it. So probably pick your stuff first, because that would make a lot more sense.
Okay, why am I making this podcast? Do I want fame and status, money, or proving myself?
There's a lot of good options for you.
I'm gonna say my motivation is proving myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I have mine. So I'm gonna go with proving the supernatural, because no one believes
Yes.
that ghosts are all around me, and they think there's something wrong with me. So, along with the fact that I am terrified of ghosts, I need to prove they exist so people stop treating me like they are.
Okay, that's a solid one.
I like it.
And then next up, everybody gets 20 awesome points.
And that's just a general thing.
Yes.
Okay.
And then stuff. All right, so everybody gets an etheric ray thrower, which is basically a proton pack, and everybody gets a ghost trap. And then you also get to pick 2 more pieces of gear.
Oh, Steve, did you come up with a name? Because I didn't come up with a name yet.
Jeremiah Frost.
Okay.
Yeah, the name and other details is number 8 on the list. I don't know why you would go almost last, but that's how they have it in the book.
So for me, I have the capability of identifying where they are, so I am essentially an ectometer, correct?
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I will point out, your primary use for that would be like using awesome points, so it's not something you can reliably do for the whole game because you'll run out of them very quickly if you do.
Okay.
I do also like the description of ectometer. Aside from ability to generate arguments about how it should be pronounced, does normal stuff count as like major stuff, or is it just the gear type stuff?
It looks like it does count.
Okay, I will look through that stuff.
And there's also magic stuff, which I remember when we were first going over this last year, we completely overlooked the magic stuff. So,
Yeah, so probably we'll do weird magical stuff concerning my character. Yeah, crystal ball and spirit candle probably.
Spare underwear is just a item. You have a crystal ball. I have spare underwear.
Look, there is an ability called retain bowel control, so
I guess that could be a big thing in this.
we're not playing Fatal. Yeah, and I think I will have a binding jar instead of my normal trap because it makes more sense for my character.
okay.
Tough thing is like, oh yeah, they have all these cool items, and then I go down and I'm like, oh, a flashlight. That seems super helpful.
Yeah, flashlight's always something that you need in these types of games.
Okay. I'm gonna go with a flashlight and a car.
We will need a car.
I was looking at that, though it does say in the second paragraph, for our purposes, you could assume the company has a decent car without expending gas slot.
Okay.
Gas
Oh,
slot.
Well,
okay.
never mind.
Though, if you want anything fancy or luxury car, then
Never mind.
You know, our car is not going to be
because I
good.
was thinking that.
At
Okay.
best, we
Yeah.
at best we have a van.
I'm okay with the van. Let's see here.
At first, I was like looking at that, and I was like, "Wait, no, I'm young. I don't have a vehicle.
Oh God.
I mean, I'm in college."
All right, scratch that. I'm still chasing.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna bring: a audio recorder for my podcast,
Mhm.
and then the alien visor, which is in the
Yeah, it's like you can see supernatural stuff. Yeah.
technology. Yes.
Okay.
Special goggles.
Okay. I am going to do the flashlight and the climbing gear.
All right. So now we got to go with names. So I know Steve and Rose, you've already said your characters' names.
Valerie King.
Jeremiah Frost.
And then Teach, you want to roll or you have one? Or...
I don't have one. I'll roll.
All right. So page 24.
What dice do I need?
I believe it's 2d6.
2d6. Okay.
There are some good names on here.
And then it's the number on the face of each dice next to each other rather than adding the 2 numbers together.
Yeah, so you could either go like 5-6 or 6-5.
Okay. I've got 6-3. So I'll do Winchester as the last name, and how about 3-6? Gabriel. I'm gonna play a guy. So Gabriel Winchester.
All right. And then
Do we need a company name?
Yeah, we can do that. You can come up with one, or you can roll for it, because there's a chart for that as well.
I mean, our company is kind of based on this podcast, so
I was gonna say, really, we need a podcast.
yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one though. Where's the list of stuff though, just for the hell of it?
It's on page 33.
33, okay.
Yeah. Trying to be like the Spook Blast podcast.
Spook Chasers is not bad.
Spectre Smashers. No.
Also, is this just
Oh,
ghosts?
Spectre Inspectors.
I was trying to be like spectral, like I don't know, trying to
Yeah.
like off serial that podcast.
Are we just ghosts, or are we like full supernatural stuff?
I-
My podcast, yeah, it's mainly focuses on ghosts, but I would say like 70% of the time, and then 30% other.
Spectre
Yeah, we'll go
Inspectors.
with.
I do like Spectre Inspectors.
That's good.
All right. And then company assets. So this is on page 34.
X. That's one of the
Yeah.
Yes.
options for the name. Shadow X. Okay.
Now we know where Elon got his name from.
Company assets. You get to pick 2 of those.
We definitely don't have a secretary.
A cult library might not be bad. Or specifically a cult nexus, where we sit on a nexus of occult power. That would be ridiculous. Honestly, good location and a cult library wouldn't be bad.
Also, computers might be
I was
good,
going to
too.
say powerful computers would probably be
Yeah, considering the fact that we're doing a podcast, we might have somebody who has like specifically good tech skills.
famous. Company has gotten pretty well known.
That can't be the case.
I don't think that could be true.
I would say connected could be useful. Research lab, powerful computer.
Research lab definitely doesn't sound right for us.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, like, I'm in college, so I just, for some reason, also think we're just using all the college's stuff.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Connected might be good just because we're really good with social media. That's the word. I was going to say supernatural media. That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Okay, so how about connected and powerful computers?
Okay.
All right. And then where is our company located? What city, what area of the city?
We're in a college.
I was going to say either a dorm room or someone's basement.
Both are good.
I mean, because I was thinking I live in a dorm room, but I was like, oh, maybe we totally took over an empty classroom and an empty science lab.
Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, maybe a college dorm, empty room in the college, or someone's basement. Something like that. Because my character 100% lives with their mom.
I'm the only one who has their shit together, aren't I?
My character is young. They're doing fine for
For
their
their
age.
age, yeah.
I'm not doing okay at
I'm
all
not
in any way,
okay.
shape, or
It's just,
form.
that is just a general statement. I am not okay.
Yes.
Let's just pick something. Empty classroom.
Okay. So we do work out at the college. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like we're sponsored by the
Yeah,
college.
they don't.
We just
We
found.
we
They don't know we're
they
there.
don't. They don't know we're doing this.
Yeah, you do
Yeah.
all your business online. All right. How do people in the area see you?
Oh, we are a band of infamous weirdos. 100%.
Okay, I changed my mind. I'm not living in my mom's basement. I am living in a van. That is our company car.
All right.
I am living in a van down by the river.
Yes.
And how did you come by the paratechnology and know how to hunt ghosts?
I feel like Steve knows someone who, or can it be one of those podcast like like the standard podcast ads like Manscaped and stuff like that? Except it's just paranatural technology that we can use. Like, it doesn't even have to be for its intended purposes. It's just useful for hunting ghosts. That's a good one, but
I was gonna say, like, I took it from a class.
we could know a professor who is like super into this weird crap, and it's just like we're borrowing stuff from them. Maybe they don't know.
I totally traded some underclassmen some alcohol for this. What was the idea for how we got this equipment, Rose?
The idea of a like it's not even intended for ghost hunting, but it's useful for it. But it's kind of like one of those like regular podcast ads like Manscaped, where it's like they just send these out to literally anyone they can, and if somebody takes it, that's just their regular ads.
Great. I love it. Let's go with that.
I found it in a cereal box.
Unlicensed nuclear accelerator? What?
And then that's all I needed from all of you. I think I am going to have fun and roll the story idea for the session on the generator table in the book.
Okay.
That can be fun.
I'm very curious about the whole needing to maintain your bowels thing, and the fact that it's brought up in two different sections, like you can bring a change of underwear.
I don't think that's a standard thing, but just in case,
Do you get -1 if you poop yourself? Like, what?
I imagine it would have an effect on dealing with people.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
All right, so yeah, that'll be it for character creation. The plan is to have gameplay starting up in 2 weeks on October the 17th. I would like to get all the gameplay out by the end of the month, so we might have extra episodes. We do have to allow for scheduling issues, but my goal is to have it the first episode of actual gameplay on the 17th, and then try and get all of the gameplay out by Halloween, if we can. It's a big if, but that's my goal.
Spooky November.
Okay.
I mean, last time our Halloween content lasted into January. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be it for this week. So hopefully you will hear from us again in 2 weeks. And with all that said, thank you for joining us, and careful on your way back down the mountain.